Welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys, and in today's video we're going to be going over the perfect haircutting system that you can use on any type of hair texture and any type of fade, whether high fades, low fades, or tapers. And we're going to be using the 245 clipper set, and there's a major Black Friday sale going on in the description down below. You can click on those Amazon links and that'll get the clipper to your house super quick, guys. We're going to be starting with a number 4 guard going down with the grain. So you could see here, my client has wavy hair. I wouldn't say he has super tight curly hair, but he does have wavy hair, typical with a lot of Spanish or Hispanic hair textures, and he likes to brush it down forward. So part of the consultation is understanding what is your client's preferred hairstyle. If you wanted like a really short and tight cut, then I would be going up against the grain. But since he does brush his hair forward and he likes to let, the hair pretty much look a little wavy, he likes to keep a thick, full texture, then I will use this number 4 guard going down with the grain. So again, that means if the hair is growing forward, I cut it forward. If the hair grows backwards, I cut it backwards. Against the grain means you do the exact opposite, and that's going to get it really tight. We don't want that today. Now, I think a lot of you guys have been enjoying the more natural pace of the haircut tutorials lately, and I think I'm going to keep that going. It really seems like it resonates with you guys and the information lands, so I'm not going to be doing any excessive, double speed or unnecessary cuts. I want to let you guys watch in real time how this kind of haircut comes together. The next thing that we're going to be doing is going with the clipper all the way closed on the 245 clipper. And this is the tool that I'm going to use to set in my bald line. A lot of people are going to tell you to set the bald line in with the trimmer. Now, the trimmer is something that truly, it will give you a very precise line, and it'll get it nice and sharp, and it's easy to do the line with, but it's going to be harder and more difficult at the end of the fade to be able to blend it out. Remember, the trimmer is something that's used to give a super crispy, sharp edge. I don't really need a sharp edge in the middle of my fade, right? It is going to make it a little bit more difficult. So I would encourage every single one of you to take the time and try it out. Just try it once, see how it goes. Do the clipper closed for your very first bald line. I really think that it's gonna, it'll give you, mentally, it'll give you that bald line that where my fade ends at, but in the real sense, in the real world, it'll give you an easier line to blend out, and you'll see how it comes together. And that's the same logic that I use for this next step, guys. I take the half guard with the lever closed, and this is what I'm going to use to create my next guideline. So this guideline here is with the half guard all the way closed. Other YouTubers will tell you to do this line with the clipper all the way open. That's not bad information either. Essentially, it's really the same length, the clipper open and the half guard closed, but this is going to be a little bit easier to fade out, and it'll make more sense as we come towards the end of the fade, when we're starting to fade down, because here I'm setting my primary line and this is my secondary line that I'm putting in right now. After this, we're going to fade down. I'm going to debulk from the very darkness at the very top, and I'm going to slowly fade it down. And you'll see it's easier to fade from plastic to plastic than it is from plastic to metal. 1.5 guard with the lever all the way open. We already removed a lot of the bulk. It's not like he has like a fro, right now. We can start sculpting straight away, from the fade area into the length that he has up at the very top. Notice how I'm holding the clipper. First of all, I like to kind of tilt my clipper upwards, I feel like it helps me give that softer finish while I'm cutting. And if you notice, I'm applying pressure at the bottom, but I float my way up and off the scalp. If I were to continue that motion all the way up, I literally would, the clipper would just go all the way up to the ceiling. So I apply pressure at the bottom where where the fade is, but then I layer my way up. When I have that really soft motion and I float up, it does a few things. The 1.5 guard open, it maintains darkness to where I can control the gradients of the fade. When I use that soft floating motion going upwards, it almost layers the hair for me. It automatically cuts through me needing to use the 6 guard, the 5 guard, the 4 guard, the 3 guard, the 2. It kind of scoops all of that in one motion. So you see how it still leaves it kind of dark, the little front section of the fade that we did. So that's why the 1.5 guard is the magic guard for this step right here, because while it's open, it still leaves it dark and helps you control the shape. But you know, when we're done going all the way around with this 1.5 guard open, you'll see how when we close it, it actually starts to lighten it up. That's again why I think that the 1.5 guard is the magic one to use for this step, both for debulking and for shaping. You know, if he would have had a whole ton of hair, like, you know, 3 months, 4 months without a haircut, I probably would have gone in with the number 4 guard first, just to debulk, you know, going up against the grain, clearing out the sides, but I didn't really find it necessary today. So guys, just to touch on the Black Friday sale that I mentioned a little bit earlier, tools from Tomb 45, and they really don't go on sale very often, so that's why it's important to take advantage of the Black Friday sale that's going on right now. There's more than one way to get it, however you prefer. You know, you can get it from Amazon because all of those are already discounted heavily. You can also go through the YouTube shopping feature, but I'll make sure to have all of those tagged down below, make it super convenient for you to go ahead and get your clipper, get your trimmer, get your enhancement set. You know, all of that is on at least a 30% discount, you know, through all of those sources, man. So it's definitely an exciting time. Get all the tools that you need. And like I said, for me, the most exciting thing about these tools, guys, is I've never had machines that came out the box charging wirelessly before, and I use the same clipper, the same trimmer all day, and they never get hot. That's the special thing about the blade that we have on these clippers. Look here, guys, we already are done with the 1.5 open, so now I'm gonna follow up with the 1.5 closed. And like I said, you'll be able to see here at this point, this is where it starts to lighten up. The 1.5 open, it left it dark, it let us create the shape that we need, but now we can start chipping away at that darker line of demarcation. With the 1.5 closed, we're gonna go all the way through, and we're gonna make it lighter as we work our way down. Now, in the last video, I mentioned about the, I think I dropped it on a Friday because we were talking about the Black Friday sales that were going on. But Black Friday is already gone, Cyber Monday is already gone, and the clipper's still on sale. So if it is something that you guys have been considering looking into, man, I would definitely recommend it. It's literally like $50 off, between $50 to $70 off right now, on that Amazon link that I have in the description. That sends it over to the clipper, man. And it's definitely something to consider, because for me personally, like, granted, all clippers cut good, but not all clippers can truly control the temperature, right? Like, I literally cut with one clipper, one trimmer, one shaver all day, every day. I'll do up to, you know, like the day before Thanksgiving, I did like 19 heads back to back to back, and the blade never got hot. So it was really impressive to see the performance of that clipper with the wireless charging. If you want the power pods on the dock charging, you can. Good ergonomics, it's not too heavy, not too light. This feels like a real solid clipper, so I would recommend it if that's something that you guys are in the market for still. It's still on sale. I don't know if they just forgot to deactivate the Black Friday sale, but you can save a lot of money, man. So check that link if it's something you've been looking forward to. Now we're moving back down to the half guard here, and we're gonna go back to having the lever open, right? So we already did the 1.5 open to shape, bulk, get rid of some of that darkness. We use the 1.5 closed to start taking away some of the darkness and working down towards the transition, so that way we can fade away that very the secondary guideline that we put in. Now we can go in with the half guard with the lever wide open, and we can do the same thing. So if you notice, so far in this fade, we've only done the 1.5 guard and we've done the half guard, and that's it. We haven't used the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1.5. We haven't used all that. I'm not saying that you can't. Like, you can definitely go and use those guards if it's something that would make you a little more comfortable. Maybe you're still kind of in that learning phase, but you know, if for the sake of efficiency, try this method whenever you start to feel comfortable enough. Try this method out, and I think it'll make a really, really big difference for you, man. The half guard with the lever all the way open is right about equivalent to like a 1 closed, right? And then if you think about it, the 1.5 closed that we just finished using is equivalent to that same 1 guard open. So really the only thing that you're missing is like that 1 guard about halfway through, right? The lever halfway through, not open, not closed, but right in the middle. But as you can see, if you can finesse it, if you can really control the precision of your hand motions, pressure at the bottom, floating your way up and off the head, you know, maybe giving the clipper a little tilt. You notice my clipper is not super flat flush against his head. I always kind of elevate the clipper a little bit, the way that I'm holding it in my hand. I feel like that really helps me get more precision, more control, so that makes it easier to skip through these different guard lengths. So sure enough, you know, the line that we're working on fading out is the half guard all the way closed, right? We're starting with this all the way open, so that way we can blend up into the length that the 1.5 left. But then, you know what, once you clear everything out that you can with the half guard all the way open, now you can kind of close that guard about halfway. You know, close the guard down about halfway, and then you can keep chipping away at it lower and lower. And then once you're done doing everything with the half guard half closed, then you could, you know, every notch by notch by notch, the lower that you go on the lever, the lower you can work your way in the fade, and before you know it, you're perfectly matched down to that half guard all the way closed. Do you remember in the beginning of this tutorial where I said plastic fades easier into plastic rather than plastic trying to fade into metal? Well, in this case, that's exactly what we're doing. We're working our way down to where we're starting with the half all the way open, halfway. By the time that you're closed, that's literally the length that you use to put in that first guideline. So let's watch the rest of this come together here. You know, you'll see the lever adjustments. You're slowly working your way down to being able to fade that line completely out. So leave a comment down below. Tell me if this is something that makes sense to you. You know, now that I've described it, but now you can also see it come together. The final step that we're working on now is, you remember how we put that first guideline in with the lever all the way closed with no guard? Now we can go ahead and do the same. We're going to match that line at the very bottom, starting with the clipper closed. We are going to go to and through that guideline right there. Okay, so we're going to break through that clipper closed guideline, and just to kind of soften it up a little bit. Nothing crazy. We're not trying to push it too high. I just want to break through the line so that way it's softer, right? And then we can open up our notch by just one level. You're gonna see this right here. We went ahead and opened it up just one little click, and we can go a little bit higher. And you're gonna do this over and over again, but here's where the anxiety sometimes can come in while you're cutting hair, that you're afraid that you're gonna take the fade too high. I've done a lot of work to keep this fade at a mid fade level, and I don't want to screw it all up. I don't want to make it go too high. What can help ease your tensions with this situation is that, yes, you are going to start raising the fade higher, but at the same time your lever is going to be getting longer. So longer lever, longer hair. Shorter level, shorter hair. That's why we start closed at the very bottom, and then we go ahead and open up one notch, so it's a little longer, we can go a little higher. Then you open it a little longer again, and you can go a little higher again. So you continue lengthening the clipper blade as you continue to work your way higher and higher. So by the time that your clipper is all the way open, it should blend perfectly up into that half guard close that you started with. So let's go ahead and watch this come together, guys. Like I said, I hope that kind of eases your mind a little bit. You know, the anxiety of I'm gonna push the fade too high, I'm gonna ruin the whole haircut. That's not gonna happen, guys. You literally just stick to the plan and acknowledge, yes, I am gonna go higher in the fade, but my clipper lever is also making sure that I'm gonna be getting longer as I get up into the fade. Observe the motions that I do here to work my way up into the fade that we've done so far, and then we can move on to the next step. So while we go ahead and watch the rest of the bottom line here be faded out, you know, something that I thought about more recently is doing some type, like we can even take advantage of this barbershop that we're in right now, the brand new Tomb 45 barbershop here in downtown Tampa. I've thought, like, okay, I've seen all sorts of people in the comments, barbers learning, like starting their career, and I've seen even like parents literally telling me like, hey, this was awesome, you know, it helped me learn how to cut my kid, right? So I feel like there's something there that we can work with, some sort of in-person education. I still have to plan it out. I still have to, you know, logistically, like, how is this going to happen? But I think there's definitely potential for us being able to do some sort of in-person education. Maybe we can do small groups, something like that, man, because it really does seem like a lot of you guys have been able to pick up the gems and value from these videos and apply them, you know, whether it's making more money at the barbershop or whether it's saving money, you know, in your personal budget and being able to, you know, keep your kids fresh type thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely I'm hearing the feedback. I'm planning something out, you know, but if y'all have any ideas, man, let me know down below. If you've ever been to an event like this before, let me know. But I think that's something cool that we can look forward to in the near future. You know, one of the things you guys really also have been commenting about is the transparency and the natural pacing of this haircut. And I want to show you here at this point, you know, I'm done fading with the clipper, but I feel like there was actually still some fading to be done, some more blend work. So I'm actually going to be going back, returning to that half guard with the clipper all the way closed, you know, halfway and then all the way open, and going back to readjust the blend. You know, most of the videos that you guys have seen, I've been able to flow through it all the way through because their hair textures were super receptive to it. But in this case, I felt like his hair texture actually needed a little bit more time, a little bit more attention. So that's why I'm coming back into it with the half guard. So this is why I say, guys, like, you don't have to be worried about, I'm gonna push the fade too high. Just stay in your lane, stay doing what you need to in that moment, because you can always come back for an adjustment period. Like in this case, I'm coming back here with the half guard closed, and I just want to make sure, well, half guard, you know, all through the half guard, open, midway, closed, whatever is necessary, because I want to make sure that this blend is going to come together and just look right by the time that it's all done. So I'm returning to this half guard, doing some detailing here, and I figured I would leave this in because, like I said, it's a learning moment. Not every single hair texture is, you know, the easiest to cut. This guy has, you know, like Dominican hair, like it has a little wave to it. It's not straight, it's thin, but it's also like really mushy, like it moves around real easy. So it's a difficult hair texture, but this hair cutting system still can tackle and accomplish it. And like I said, this is the type of system that I use. Every single haircut that we do, you know, we use the same system, we push through it, and we make it happen. So let's watch the rest of this blend come together. And I'm pretty sure after this, now we just have the lineup. So definitely, guys, leave me a comment down below and let me know, do you appreciate me leaving small stuff like this in the videos? You know, like just real life, you know what I mean? Having to go back and do some corrective work. Let me know if you like to see this, or if you prefer I cut it out next time. Let me know. We're jumping into these trimmers now, guys, and when it comes to the lineup, you know, the lineup is something that can be very challenging for a lot of people. Like, it literally can make or break a haircut. So let's go ahead and go through. We're going to clear this bulk out all the way. I want to show you guys how, and these are also linked down below. I want to show you guys how these clippers are able just to blast through all the bulk that we leave at the very bottom, you know, without any snags, without any irritation. And by the way, guys, this is how the blades come set out of the box. You know, most other trimmers that I've had to do some sort of adjustment. Maybe they hit too hard coming out of the box, maybe they didn't hit at all coming out of the box. But these are super valuable because of that, guys. It has a perfect setting out the box that can give you a sharp line, it can bald out, and at the same time, you know, it's not too much to where a client is gonna have redness or cuts or irritation on their skin. You know, it's definitely, this whole area right here is definitely a true test of what a trimmer can do. If it can cleanly and smoothly blast through that bulk left at the very bottom, then yeah, you got a good machine on you, man. So let's go ahead and get through the rest of this, and then we'll jump into the lineup. Here we go, guys. Now we are going into this lineup now that the bulk on the sides has been taken care of. I hope you were able to notice kind of like why I like to go, you know, leave that bulk for the end, because I could really just focus my brain on the blend, you know what I mean? There's no skill involved in balding somebody out. All of the effort goes into that blend, that line that goes all the way around the head. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a fan of working like that, or even if you're willing to try it, you know. Now, here's what happens with the lineup, guys. Start in the middle, okay? I used to start all the way in the left corner and work my way all the way to the right corner, all in one smooth motion, but I would be super crooked every single time. Like, if you start in the middle, guys, and then you pick one corner to work towards, establish a firm, you know, like, and obviously do your consultation. Ask them, do you want to keep a low and natural lineup? Do you want me to push it in a little bit? Would you rather be crispy? Would you rather be natural? You know, that's all consultation between you and your client. My client is working on growing his hair back in. He's using minoxidil to grow his hair thicker, so we're being very conservative with his hairline. So that's why I started in the middle where I did, and I shot my way off straight to this right corner. Continue to comb through, make sure that you catch all the loose hairs that are happening, especially on a hair texture like this, guys. This is a very difficult hair texture to work with. As you can see, I had to do a little bit of extra detailing compared to my other haircuts, you know what I mean? But like I said, I wanted to leave that in to give you guys the raw, the real, what to expect when cutting a difficult hair texture. So breaking the lineup into two different jobs, right? Starting from the middle and working your way to the right, returning to the middle and now working your way to the left. It actually gives you two easier jobs to accomplish rather than one huge large job all the way from the left all the way to the right. You know what I mean? So this, now that I can see what the lineup looks like on the right half of his head, now I can go ahead and continue to comb it out and trim it on the left side and make small adjustments as needed. You know, something to think about too, guys. You're looking at a client straight on and you're going to see a nice straight line, super parallel, right? But another way to check if you're having trouble balancing somebody's hairline, you can literally ask them to tilt their head downwards. So now you're looking at their head from the top angle and you'll notice that it's a curve. You have like a U type shape. So not only do you want the lineup to look as even as possible from the front, but you also want them to tilt their head downwards, and you can make sure that that U curve also is looking even. You know what I mean? So there's different ways to go about it, different ways to approach the lineup. But personally, I feel like this makes it a little bit easier. Go back and forth, make your adjustments. So now at this point, guys, like, you can pretty much go ahead and make all the adjustments that you need to. If you're gonna do some razor work, you definitely can if your client's skin can handle it. Also, you can go ahead and do the same thing with the foil shaver. You know, here I'm using the FX3 foil shaver, and it's powerful, man. Like, you know what's crazy? Tell me something, guys. I want to know, how often do you guys change your foil shaver, like the actual foils? Because a lot of people, you know, I went a long time where I would just, you know, maybe change it like once every 6 weeks, like once every 2 months. When I was talking with the barber supplier, he told me he had some people who buy 2 foils a week. And honestly, after using this FX3 foil shaver, when I had like a fresh brand new foil on it, man, that thing just rips through hair, bro. I have that also in the links down below if you guys are looking for a quality shaver. This thing literally just rips and rips through hair. And in a good way, please don't, you know, don't think that I'm talking about uncomfortably rips. Like, it blows through hair, man. It's crazy. And I find myself now, every time I see the supply guy, I'm copping a new foil shaver, or at least the foil shaver head, because it's true, man. Nothing just like, it just kind of sucks the hair in, man. It really clears it out. I would like to know how often you guys replace your foil shavers, and I guess it has to do with the volume of hair that you're doing and everything like that. So I'm sure that's subjective, man, but definitely let me know, guys. And let me know so far, guys, what do you think about this hair texture, man? Like, not the hair texture, but the haircut. Because it was a difficult texture, you know, I've showed you guys the whole process. I think we got his lineup pretty crispy without really pushing it too far, right? Because we wanted to make sure that he kept, you know, some of that hair laying down. He didn't want to go so aggressive with his lineup this time around. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. Just here making the final adjustments now that I was able to face him towards the mirror, make sure that everything is looking super even. And here we're gonna see some of the finished results, man. I feel like the fade, that's crazy. I feel like the fade is blurry, the lineup is crispy. I'm looking forward to you guys watching more of my videos and give me more feedback. I'll see you guys on the next video.